It's still exceptionally early in the draft process. I mean, real early. But I love looking at other people's takes when it comes to the NFL draft, especially this early, because then it kind of opens your eyes to maybe players you weren't looking at, just increases your watch list. And today we're looking at a consensus big board. That's right, let's go ahead, switch over to this sucker. Is Pro Football Network's Arif Hassan has put together from 20 different big boards around the industry and has compiled a top 100 for the 2023 NFL draft. And we're going to take a look at that today and see where a majority of the draft community kind of sides with certain prospects. And I know my big board was not included on this. So, let's see how that fares. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up. Enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. Remember, this isn't my big board, though I will be releasing a big board after we get done with prospect rankings, and that'll be out in a few weeks. Get those mid-season prospect rankings going. Thinking I might do a 7-round mock draft sometime this month too. 'Tis the season, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at this. I think we're going to end up seeing a grip because it doesn't really list out why or anything. Again, it's compiling from like a bunch of different boards, but you're going to get your overall like positional rank. And right now for a lot of people, Will Anderson's #1. And I mean, you can't argue with that. Stroud doesn't surprise me for a bulk of people that he's #1 either, just because of the size, ideal arm. And Bryce Young, there's going to be that concern with his size. Can he hold up to the physicality of the NFL? I mean, he just went down to shoulder AC joint injury. And we don't really know what the actual diagnosis, because there's like 6 different categories of AC joint injuries. So we don't know the severity of it yet, but still, that's something, I mean, best believe that's going to be something people are concerned about. Jalen Carter doesn't surprise me. He's high on this list. Like, for the most part, this is everyone's #4. Myles Murphy, apparently a unanimous edge too. I love to see it. I was a guy exceptionally high on him early in this process, and like he was challenging Will Anderson. Then he came out to the slow start, and Will Anderson had an interesting start nonetheless. But it's wild that people still put Jackson Smith into Jigba, and I think this week this was put together a week ago, so it's a week behind. But still, like Jackson Smith, man, he's been banged up, and I get it's got the plus there, but I feel like Jordan Addison's shown enough to at least be in consideration here. I imagine it's gonna be real close. I imagine we're gonna see a few of these receivers close to one another. But for Jackson Smith and Jigba to be top 5, I don't know. I think that's a bit wild. I get it. Bijan, he's running back 1 for a lot of people. He's not gonna touch my top 10 just because of positional value, but top 20 prospect, easy. He's here at #6. It's kind of wild. Brian Brazee has been a monster this season. Yeah, he is easily the #2. I'll be interested to see how it falls when it comes to the other defensive tackles on this list. So let's keep rolling. Oh, look, it's my boy Keely Ringo. Okay, riddle me this comment section, because anytime we do a mock the mock, how often is Keely Ringo taken in the top 10? Nay, top 15. How often is he the top corner off the board? I don't get it, but at least they get it. At least they got him as corner 1. Kayshon Boutte, I don't know, man. I think he might end up returning, man. This season's been kind of woof for him. He's still not the focal point. That LSU offense is struggling. They're lucky their defense is so good. Michael Mayer, he's easy. #1 right now at tight end. I think he's probably a top 15, top 20 prospect. So him here at 11 is not a surprise. Jordan Addison's torn up the season. Like, I think honestly should be wide receiver 1 for most people. I think he's been one of the hottest receivers thus far. So now we get our first tackle, and it's Peter Skoronski. He's here at 13, and I think that's about fair where this tackle class is. I'll be interested to see, because we see Paris Johnson here as tackle 2 at #15. I'll be interested to see if Broderick Jones is that next tackle prospect on the board. Isaiah Foskey Edge 3, I get it. High floor guy. Makes sense for me. Like, kind of like he's like a late first rounder. So that makes sense. There's some guys that I've really liked thus far, like BJ Ojolari, Jared Verse, I think are two guys that have just destroyed thus far. Will Levis QB3, that kind of makes sense. I mean, I get it. Like, the dude's in an NFL style offense. He knows how to operate it, even though his process and decision making still needs some work. Like, I'll say in the second half of that Ole Miss game, like, he was very good. If not for the offensive line just continually laying in pressure to him, which ultimately led up as they were driving to either tie the game or take the lead. That strip sack, like, honestly, like, he was having a really good second half. So, like, Will Levis, I think for me, he's more back half of the first round type of guy, just given the age and just, he's just big arm Kenny Pickett, man. That's my opinion. Noah Sewell still, like, linebacker 1 though. Like, I don't think his play's been that great, but I get it. Like, he's kind of a freak for his size. Just in today's NFL, like, coverage prowess ain't all that. The missed tackles I get concerned about. I think at 17, it's a little fair though. Like, there's no way. I hesitate to say he's a top 20 prospect. Cornerback 2 is Cam Smith. Cam Smith is pretty darn good. I just think there's a couple of guys that have obviously put their hat in that ring in the form of, like, Christian Gonzalez and Joey Porter. Nolan Smith, edge 4. For the most part, I feel like I am not like-minded when it comes to the draft community. When it comes to Nolan Smith, I'm not that impressed. He's a guy, yeah, sure, I'll take a swing at on day 2, but, like, I really struggle with, like, I don't think he can maintain consistency at his size. It's not like we're talking about, like, a Yannick Ngakoue who's at, like, 244. Like, we're Nolan Smith 235. It's like, you're really stretching it there. Trenton Simpson, I think, should be linebacker 1. It kind of surprised me he's not linebacker 1 for at least this consensus big board, but it is what it is. Here's Joey Porter. Again, Christian Gonzalez, Joey Porter, they've kind of elevated their stock massively. Antonio Johnson is kind of like, is basically safety number 1. Y'all know I'm a big fan of Brian Branch. Unfortunately got hurt. Don't know the precise diagnosis with Branch. Though we got Bryce Young's injury status pretty quickly, so I imagine we'll have, oh my gosh, where is it? Okay, this is no help. What tell me what happened to Brian Branch. Okay, he was rolled out for the remainder of the game. Okay, I get it. This is about Bryce, blah blah blah. I've already kind of talked extensively. Well, at least I will. You'll see it in my stock report. I talk extensively about Bryce. Okay, this tells me nothing. Okay, so I don't have an absolute diagnosis on him yet, so hopefully everything's well with him. I really love Brian Branch, but Antonio Johnson's been pretty darn good. I get it. A lot of people really like him. Him at 22, though, sounds about right. Quentin Johnston, I don't know. I gotta go watch maybe. I'm probably gonna watch the Oklahoma game back. Johnston has not been a focal point of the offense. Even when the offense was going off, like, I don't know, is he being double teamed? Is he drawing away a lot of attention? I don't know. We're gonna have to go and see. Jahmyr Gibbs, this feels high, but if you ain't new to the channel, you know me, man. Me and running back value, not a fan. But there's a great case that Gibbs is running back 2. I think Blake Corum you could throw up in there. Even like Sean Tucker, but Sean Tucker's really started the year out slow. They got Jordan Battle as safety 2. I like him in day 2. I just think there's a few other safeties that have really, really impressed thus far. Clark Phillips, I'm actually super surprised. Oh, they list him as nickel. That's great. I get it. His size isn't ideal, but I think he can still play on the outside at 5. I think he's 5'10", 183. Like, in off coverage, like, he's really good. Just had 3 picks this past week. Eli Ricks, he ain't coming out. Cornerback 4 here, though. Dude literally had a hot 3 snaps against Arkansas. Tyler Van Dyke, another guy I don't think is coming out. I think that's why they got asterisks here. For majority of people, quarterback 4. I think he was like quarterback 3 or 4 for me to start the season. Obviously, over the past 3 weeks, things have changed. Josh Downs is the next guy on this list as wide receiver 5. Another guy I kind of differ on the NFL draft community that they love this guy, but I'm like, this ain't Jahan Dotson. This is a day 2 prospect. Though at 30, that makes that's close enough, to where I feel like you should go ahead. I see him still as his fringe top 50 player, but I just don't have. I worry about his size. A lot of his stuff is schemed, so stuff like that. PJ Ojolari, man, 31. Yeah, absolutely. This guy's probably gonna be a top 20 when I do my next big board. Henry Toa, I think, has kind of elevated himself to linebacker 2 over Sewell. I really like how Toto's been playing. Siaki Ika is okay. They list him as nose tackle 1, but he is defensive interior 3 for the most part on this list. That's fine. I think Gervin Dexter, who's actually follows up right here, would actually be above him. They're only a couple of they're separated by a couple of spots. It's okay. It's fine. Why is this number all messed up? That's weird. Should he be at 29? Did they mess up? Should he be up here? That's interesting. Guess we'll never know. They got Brandon Joseph. Brandon Joseph hasn't been. I've only watched the last Notre Dame game I watched was the Cal game, so I didn't watch them this past week. I'm trying to think, who did they even play this past week? Did they play this past week? Who knows? Here, let's find out. Let's at least see what analytics say about Joseph this year. Everything I've from what I've watched, at least the early part of this year, feels like he's in that 75 range. If he would have came out last year, I was kind of hoping. I love this dude's range. I thought he was going to be a breakout guy a year and a half ago. All right. Actually, curiosity. They played 4 games. They were North Carolina. That's right. They railroaded North Carolina, didn't they? If I do so remember. That wasn't even this week. That was last week. So they were off this past week. Brandon Joseph, where art thou? He's been okay. Not great, but not bad. He's been all right. How have they been using him? Mainly as a free safety, but okay, that's fine. And then a third of his snaps come in the slot as well. Okay. I don't know. I kind of want to go back and watch him now. Here's Felix Anudike Uzama. Another guy in this edge class is kind of in the process of emerging. Just hasn't had that breakout game. You want to see a bit more production. He's going to be a first rounder, but here he is at day 2. A lot of people, I can tell you, the Draft Network loves Jalen Duncan. I like him at day 2. Don't know if I'm any more sold on him, but he's a light-footed, great length type of guy. Here's Anthony Richardson at 37. You might as well put an asterisk next to it. And then again, you have so many tools. You just go to the NFL. I don't know. We'll see. Because he could end up like a Lamar Jackson situation where he gets drafted at the back half of the first round. And just gets, I don't know, maybe Greg Roman moves on and just insert Richardson into his Lamar Jackson scheme. Zach Harrison, I'm surprised. This guy's kind of a big faller right now for me. He's probably still day 2 just because of the length and the explosiveness, but man, the production has not even been there. I don't think he played a lot this past game. Could be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure they've been giving the younger guys on the edge a bit more playing time than they have Harrison. Here, let me click this. Zach Harrison, he's not been bad though. He's been all right. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, these are blowout games. He's only played he's playing 20 snaps, 24, 17. Those were all blowout games. So Then again, he only saw 18 snaps against Notre Dame, which that game was closer than and probably Ohio State would have liked. It is what it is. Zach Evans, dude, he's losing snaps out to a freshman. And Judkins a monster. Zach Evans, I don't know, man. I think things are getting a little shady for him. Let's try to run through this. I don't want this video to be exceptionally long because we got to go through 100. Will McDonald, I'm telling you, Will McDonald's going to end up in the second round. Age is going to be kind of like, people are going to be a little bit, they're not going to like his age, but like, dude is very explosive, very quick. I'm expecting him to go in like the Arnold Ebiketie, Boye Mafe type of range. Andre Carter is just a smidge ahead of him. It's just fine. I get it. Carter's he's definitely a developmental guy. Definitely. Then here, wow, they have all the edges back to back. Tyree Wilson, again, I need to go back and watch him, but for the most part, the NFL community was way higher on him than I was coming into the season. I'm a real stickler for that matchup with Charles Cross, where he just got shut down. So maybe I just need to get past that. Garrett Williams here as cornerback 5 or 6 since they made Phillips a nickel. Derek Hall's pretty high up here, 44. As we see, there's a lot of edge. I'm assuming a lot of this is from before the season even started, because we still got Eric Gilbert up here. Let's be honest, he ain't coming out. Does he even play for Georgia next year? I don't know. We'll see. Brian Branch, my boy, they list him at corner. Not even in slot. So that's interesting. Zion Nelson really feels like he's just kind of plateaued. Nicest way to put it. Big fan of Sean Tucker, running back 4. Oh yeah, because they had Evans ahead of him. Woof. All right, so we got Gilbert. Okay, Emmanuel Forbes. I'm actually shocked that Forbes is this high, because for the most part, I don't really hear people talk about him a lot. So I am legitimately flabbergasted that he's this high. Another guy I'll talk about in my stock report video. Rakim Jarrett. Oh man, drops. Get your hands. The ball skills are scary when it comes to Jarrett, but dude is an athlete. Anton Harrison, this is actually lower than I expected. I haven't seen Broderick Jones. That's because I just saw him. He's right here, so that's low, man. I think he's going to be up there with the top 3. Caillou Blue Kelly, you could tell this is before the season. Caillou Blue Kelly's been having a rough go at it this year. Let's see real quick. Because I know Jordan Addison I don't want to say, he didn't really have a field day, but kind of field day. Where are you at, Caillou Blue? There he is. Yeah, he's already allowed 2 touchdowns. He's allowed a 70% completion percentage. It's just, it's not like it was last year. His missed tackles are up, but still actually in a pretty good range for a corner, so can't even front about that. Yeah, that's just sad. We got Tanner McKee. He's my boy here at 58. Tanner McKee is, man, he's struggling since he doesn't have a good offense around him. Fortunately, I think he's been playing pretty good football. He's only put up like 2 turnover-worthy throws, despite 4 interceptions, which, hey, man, that means some of those interceptions, they weren't on him. Like, I think he's been playing good football. I really do. Let's see. Jermaine Burton, he's gonna be is he? Okay, he's right below McKee. Okay, I guess go over a couple of the others. Jalen Catalon sounds like he's returning injury, legit 5th big injury during his collegiate career, 5th or 6th, because he had the ACL his senior year of high school. He had a torn labrum the year he redshirted his freshman year. He played with a meniscus injury in 2020. 2021, he had the shoulder and the broken hand, and then 6th. This is now he's getting reconstructive surgery on his shoulder. So he's really had a bad hand dealt to him, unfortunately. Dante Demas, I don't think he's really done. I think he's probably going to go day 3. It's real unfortunate, man. Probably would have, if you didn't get hurt last year, would have been a day 2 pick. But now there's just so many mouths to feed there in Maryland. It's really hard to distribute the ball and get everyone involved. JL Skinner, probably one of the best box guys in this class, box safeties. This is a little rich for me, but it is what it is. Oh, at 49, it looks like he should be higher. I don't know, man. I don't know what PFN's doing with this. Osiris Torrance is one of the hottest risers. A lot of people are reviewing him as like a first-round guard. So, yeah, Jermaine Burton not coming out. Don't need to talk about him much. He's not really getting a lot of play. My boy Andrew Voorhees viewed as guard 2 in this class. Love that cat. Could probably play a tackle too in the NFL. Marvin Mims, big fan. No one really talks about Marvin Mims, man. He was pretty high up on my list. Stinking love me Marvin Mims. Even if he Marvin Mims is what I think a lot of people feel Josh Downs is. It's like they really like Josh Downs. That's fine. I'm Marvin Mims type of guy. So, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that's just kind of like where we get mixed up and such. I think Sam Laporte is still struggling with drops. What's your drop rate this year, my friend? 16.7. Yeah, Sam Laporte, he ain't going that high. Tight end 3. Woof. Jaquelin Roy's having a good year. He's listed here at 64. I think he's higher than that. Dwand Jones. I'm surprised he's this high. That's cool. Good for him. I mean, this is about the range I have him in. He's like top 75, top 100. Tank Bigsby. I don't know, man. This cat doesn't get too many yards after contact. He'll force a lot of missed tackles, but he ain't really generating a lot after missed contact. To be fair, he ain't getting help on that Auburn offensive line. Malachi Moore. How has Malachi Moore been this year? I know, like, for like consecutive years, he was dealing with nagging back injuries that have kind of cost him some time here and there. Let's see, where are you at? Malachi Moore. Oh my gosh, I can't find you. Look at that. Eli Ricks, 79 snaps on the year. That's wild. Malachi Moore has been good. He's played 153 snaps. Majority of it's coming out of the slot, which is, I kind of figured. John Michael Schmitz. Honestly, I think he'd be higher on this list if he was younger. These are a couple of interesting ones. Like, you got, first off, THT here. Freaking love him. Nickel corner. Exactly. He's got, if you remember our Darius Washington, I feel like it was very similar to that. That's kind of the predicament he is in. Zach Pickens, just too inconsistent. The high-end reps, amazing, but they don't come often enough. I kind of view him as day 3. Zay Flowers, I view as day 3. If you think I don't like Josh Downs, I really don't like Zay Flowers. Like, he's kind of a two-trick pony, and it really depends on where this pony's lining up, because everything is schemed. His like production so schemed in the slot, whether it's jet sweeps, end around screens, stuff like that. And then he's basically just running vertical routes. The thing is, like, on the outside. And the thing is, like, he gets a little bit of contact, then timing's thrown off. Like, that's actually led to a lot of Dracovic misses this year. It's just timing being thrown off because Flowers struggles with physicality throughout the route. A.T. Perry, I like him a lot, but like, especially going into the season, the production, it's just, man, Sam Hartman's been spreading the ball all around. If anything, I think Cedric Tillman probably passed him up. Zach Barnett, this feels high. I know he would have been running back 3 for a lot of people, me included, in 2022, but the running back class is just too good. Darnell Wright, pretty solid. Don't know if he's a guard yet, though. Moves well for a big guy, but he is still a big guy, which means how he moves, still not great. Parker Washington, literally, he's like a running back in a wide receiver's body. Not even. He's a running back playing wide receiver. The hands are good. After the catch is good, but, like, I don't know, man. I feel like it's too few and far between that he actually does something in any given game. I feel like Mitchell Tinsley has kind of outshined him this year. Love Me Grimes, not an ideal start to the year defensively. I mean, I guess at least he's not Storm Duck. Layden Robinson's been kind of slow going, so here at 77 makes a ton of sense. We got Tyreek Stevenson, huge fan. probably in this day 2 area. Jared Patterson, just an older guy, but really good. I feel like he's maybe just outside the top 100. Because typically you want to go for those guys with high upside, but he's going to be at least a solid starter in the NFL. So I don't know. Maybe he sneaks in the third. Kalijah Cansey, honestly, the only thing messing him up is his size, dude. That guy's so legit. They even list him here as a 3-4 end. Blake Freeland, straight up. For me, Freeland is Abraham Lucas. And this is about the range Abraham Lucas went, right? Abraham, not Lincoln. I want Lucas. Abraham Lucas. He was I know 3rd round. Where specifically? Pick 72. So we got Freeland 82 here. So I think that honestly might be about right when we get to the draft. Jaheim Bell, suffering from having Spencer Rattler as his quarterback, kind of sucks, but undersized guy that's probably more of an H-back. Probably ends up going a similar spot as like Chig Conquo. Kenny McIntosh, absolutely love him. He's just in a very good running back class. I think there's a good case for Kenny McIntosh to be like a running back 5, running back 6. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and evaluate all that when I get my prospect rankings going. Wicks hasn't nearly been as good as I'd hope he would have been this year, so I feel better about him on day 3. I'm not a huge fan of Devin A-Chain here, mainly because I feel like he's just speed and that's it. Christian Gonzalez honestly needs to be way higher up this. I'm surprised he's this low. Like, dude's been really good this year. We got Colby Wooden, who's having a really good year, but again, he's kind of, as you see him listed, as 3-4 end. Fortunately, like, he could still put more mass on that frame because he's like 6'5" opposed to Cansey, who's like 6 foot, 6'1". So like he could add to that frame. Zion Tuipulotu has actually been relatively quiet this year. It's been Braylon Trice that's been doing really well for the Huskies. I mean, you could also give a lot of that to like guys focusing on Tuipulotu, and he's kind of like in this rotation right now also with Jermaine Martin, so it's like it's a bit interesting what they got going on there. I don't know. I have to look at this statistically. It really feels like they do try to account for him more often than the other guys. So he's going to be taking on more double teams or getting picked up by maybe a in motion tight end or the running back in pass protection, which is allowing those other guys to really go off. So I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch a bit more. I'm just kind of like speaking to the anecdotal of just the little bit I have watched. Cedric Van Pran, I'm going to talk about him in my stock report, so be there for that. So I'll leave him. I'll leave it at that. Jack Campbell, I think, is gonna go higher. I know he's not like, it doesn't have like high end traits, but dude's just a good linebacker. Cameron Latu, I don't know, man. I feel better about that cat on day 2. Jalen Jones, it's nice to see his name. I really felt like Jalen Jones was really only being talked about by me and Alex from Hail Mary Sports, so it's nice to see his name pop up here. Habakkuk Baldonado is like Rashad Evans. Is that what it is? Rashard Evans, the former Pittsburgh edge. That's funny. They both came from Pittsburgh. That went to the Titans. He's very similar. Like, upside's not great, but he's got length, knows how to use it. He's going to be a good player in a rotation. That's kind of what Evans. Is it Rashad Evans? I feel like that's not what it is. No, it's Weaver. Rashad Weaver. There we go. Knew I'd get it. Cooper Beebe should be higher. He's really good. I don't know why he's so low. Carter Warren hasn't been all that great this year. For me, he's been always kind of been firmly a day 3 guy. Chris Smith should be higher. I think this cat is easily like a early to mid second round pick. Emil Ecore Jr. Honestly, I like Cohen better on the same squad playing the other guard position. Tucker Kraft. I watched the Iowa game. That's about it. So I couldn't tell you much about how he's doing this year. But like watching him, like he was early day 3 for me when I got around to him. And Robert Scott, he's been hurt. He's been banged up. Sorry, I didn't scroll down. I was talking about these guys. He's been banged up. I think he's a good candidate to come back because he's not having he's all right this year, but he's not having the breakout season a lot of people anticipated. So this is the consensus based on 20 different big boards. So that's interesting. Let me know who you think got forgotten, who should have been included. Maybe a little DJ. I'm not going to butcher your last name. DJ Ukulele. It's a banger nickname, by the way. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Be on the look for my power rankings for the NFL come out tomorrow. Stock report comes out Wednesday. Remember, that's our we're switching that, so you'll get that Wednesday morning or afternoon. Haven't decided which. And also, we're going to be doing a watch along to Kansas TCU. Dude, I'm so excited. That's going to be a banger. But as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.